Time in YouTube, and welcome back to Tech Profiles. Today we are going to be looking over a set that will stall you out. Good old friend of mine, Silly Slim, aka a Juicy Orange, has given us the set list to use, and it is a quad Wobbuffet deck. The objective of this deck is to stall out your opponent and make sure that they don't get to do anything. So if you guys have seen the Sylveon deck, you pretty much have a good idea what this deck is supposed to do. Now, in terms of Wobbuffet, Wobbuffet is the 110 HP Psychic type Pokemon with Bide Barricade. As long as this Pokemon is your active, each Pokemon in play, in hand, and in each player's discard pile has no abilities. So that makes it very, very strong. The exception to this is Psychic Pokemon. So things like Garbotoxin, still in effect, does not affect Wobbuffet at all. If your opponent does happen to play it, you definitely want to try and get rid of that Floatstone before they get to do anything. Now, we're not even going to bother with the attack because we don't actually run any energy in this deck. So the only real way to win is by milling or making them forfeit. So there's two good ways of winning this deck. Now, starting off our item line, we have Crushing Hammer. Flip a coin. If heads, discard an energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon. Pretty straightforward and pretty much a staple if you're trying to play stall because you can't let them have those attacks. And again, we're running for Enhanced Hammer this time. Discard a special energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon. Bam! Now we'll be able to make sure those double colorless energy or anything like that is gone. Next up is the Field Blower. Again, I want to make sure those item cards are removed. We're running 3 Field Blowers. Choose up to 2 in any combination of 2 cards in stadiums and remove them. Again, no bonuses is nice. We do have those max potions because we are not running HP. This will keep Wobbuffet nice and healthy. We are running a few rescue stretchers. Now again, we're only running a total of 4 Pokemon. Wobbuffet, 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 and Wobbuffet. You don't have to give them all lipstick. But rescue stretcher will be able to get them back if for whatever reason they do get knocked out. Next up is the VS Seeker, because who doesn't run VS Seeker? Our stadium of choice is going to be that Parallel City. Now you can of course run this in one of 2 ways. 90% of the time you will be running it to reduce their bench space, meaning they can't use those additional Tapu Leles to potentially get into those drops or anything like that. That just makes it so that they can't set up their Pokemon. We are going to be running a few Bridget. Now this is a card that a lot of people would be surprised on, but being as there's only 4 Pokemon in the deck, the likelihood of you running into them isn't very high. So getting a Bridget turn 1 or 2 is very nice because now you'll have all 4 Wobbuffets, unless one's prized of course, on the field ready to go, and you're able to survive a hit or 2. And again, they're only taking 1 prize from a Wobbuffet, so very nice setup here. We are running the Delinquent because you know what, I don't mind losing a stadium of choice when I can remove 3 cards from their hand as well. An early Delinquent will murder a player. We are running the Lysander to try and stall out our opponent if they are being forced into this position. We definitely want to put in something like a heavy Pokemon that isn't meant to be in the active position, that they can't retreat out, and this way we can stall them out a few turns while they try and get that opportunity to remove them. We are running a couple ends. Again, a little bit of hand manipulation, especially if they've taken some cards. If they've taken some prizes, we'll make it so that they have less opportunities to try and counter you. We are running a few copies of Skyla. This way we get an opportunity to kind of just go for that particular card we want because we don't have that magical ribbon effect that we did in Sylveon. So this one here, very nice support card for this. Keep an eye out for it. Obviously, we'll be running this 4 Team Flare Grunt. Discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Very strong card in stall. It makes it so your opponent cannot have that energy on that main Pokemon. Next up is for Team Rocket's Handiwork. Again, our only main objective of winning is to mill them out. So Team Rocket's Handiwork is literally just going to help us out with that. You get to flip 2 coins. For each heads on those coins, you get to just get the top 2 cards from their deck. And that could be really, really strong. Next up, if they do happen to have that energy in their hand, we can use Team Skull Grunt to remove 2 energies from their hand. Beautiful card. if played correctly. And our only additional item card is going to be the Fighting Fury Belt. Now this is something that a lot of people have started to move away from, but we are not looking to do damage with Choice Band. We are looking to survive, and the best thing for that is Fighting Fury Belt. Fighting Fury Belt will give the Wobb effect an additional 40 HP, plus 10 attack power, but again, we're not going to be attacking. And this is really, really cool. So that is the objective of the deck. That is everything in it, the counts, the everything. You guys can see it all here ready to go. And I think this is going to be a longer episode because we are playing stall. So just a word of warning before we get into these next couple matches of TCG Online. Alright guys, match number 1 is here against Birdleman. Birdlemon? I don't know. Birdemon it is. Alright, we win this coin toss. Not really what I want, so I'm not going to go first. I'm going to let him go first. I like having the ability to counter my opponent. Unless you get a delinquent Parallel City start, then you can kind of just do an ow, 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 what was that? I think I hit a box or something underneath my desk. Oh, that hurt. Surprisingly, that hurt because I damaged my baby toe a little while ago and hasn't really fully recovered since. Anyway, more importantly, the card game. Oh, no Wobbs. Just a Bridget there. Our opponent will have a ton of opportunities to draw additional cards here. But then again, that is not necessarily a bad thing. Can we get one Wobb? Probably not. They're not actually in the deck, guys. They're just... oh, man. Well, you're seeing this for yourselves, guys. I'm not drawing a Wobb. Oh, there we go! I got a Wobb! Alright. And we got some counters, too. I like this hand. I really do. I really do. Alright. So. Let's see what my opponent ends up doing. How many cards are they going to draw extra? Lots. They drew 7. So they've got... it's a Talonflame Cyndaquil deck. So... because of it being turn 1, the Gale Wings still technically would go into play. Alright. He didn't... oh, he couldn't attack. Right. We're going to attempt to Crushing Hammer. We land it, so there goes that energy, which is great. And, other than that, I don't really have much of an option. I wasn't expecting to fight a Typhlosion today. And he's got turn 1 Typhlosion. Well, turn 2. And this is really simple card to get going here. Now, he has the ability to free retreat. Talonflame Break. Alright, that is something you do not see every day. Guy legit got a Talonflame Break off turn 2. That's insane. So we're in a bit of a problem. A bit of a problem, to say the least. My Enhanced Hammer is going to do nothing. My opponent has put 3 Fire Energies already in the discard. Easily put them back in. And he goes for the Arrow Blitz. 40 damage onto Wobb. I might be in a bit of trouble here. He can draw all the cards he wants, though. Alright, we gotta bridge it. Oh. Okay, so 3 Wobbs down. This is not gonna be great. Just gonna heal off. And unfortunately, I have to pass this turn. Now, what is great about Wobb is I'm not playing the EX prize, which is what my opponent was kind of hoping for. He's already down to almost half his deck just by drawing additional cards. He's going for the... oh. Well, you see, he can just knock me out here. And that'll be one Wobb gone. So Flare Blitz is going to happen. He does discard both his fire energies in order to use it, which isn't a big deal. I'm going to bring in my current Wobb. I really don't need to bridge it. Huh. This is a tough game. I'm gonna just pass, because both of the supporters that I can use aren't gonna get me anywhere. I could easily use a rescue stretcher off the Skylup, but what am I gonna do? It's just gonna bring my Wobb back. It's not gonna play out too much right now. Seeing another Cyndaquil on the bench. My opponent does drop a fire energy down onto Typhlosion. Now they can go for the switch, which is fine. Now Massive Eruption does discard their cards. This is good for me, and he does not knock me out, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to Lysander in the other Cyndaquil. I think this is my best play. If he wants to do anything, he's going to force one of those fire entries into the discard pile. Play out a little bit here. I'll lose a Wobb, but I can handle that. Especially if I manage to go for like a Skyla rescue stretcher off of 2 or 3 of them going down, then I can bridge it. Because he's not going to be playing too much hand manipulation, so I can probably in the next turn grab a rescue stretcher. And then on the following turn, put all 3 back and then just bridge it again. I don't mind if he's starting to take prizes, but here he goes. Typhlosion's coming back in. I got lucky this previous turn. He did only land on the 1 energy, and he's going to energy recycler. So 4 energy do go back into the deck. He has a higher chance of drawing them now. He is going to go into a Cool Lava here. And Massive Eruption is just going to do exactly what it does. Massively destroy things. Alright. My next Wobb comes in. We're going to go for a Skyla here. And I just need a rescue. I only have 1 rescue stretcher. Now this is not to play this turn. It is to play next turn. I'm going to just pass at this point. I'll be able to get all 3 of my Wobbs back with the Bridget. Again, going for this energy drop really is not going to save me any, being as these are 1 energy attacks. But he is milling himself quite nicely as far as I'm concerned. And with him needing to take all 6 prizes, I don't have a problem with that. Down goes another Wobb. But I saved this up in turn. I knew this was coming, so I can easily rescue stretcher, put all 3 Wobbs back in the deck, and then draw them back in. Alright, rescue stretcher, shuffle 3, combination, 1, 2, 3, back in, and we bridge it. We got all 3 of them back, boom baby! And now, I still don't have a whole lot going for me. What will be nice though is I will be able to end him down. After this turn, he'll be down to probably 2 cards. And that is really good. Because I might be even able to get rid of this fire energy if I can manage to end away his hand. And then get like an energy or a removal or something. He is getting all these energy recyclers. And he's just putting all those fire energies back. We are not milling him anywhere near as fast as I was hoping. So down goes another Wobb. We're going to put his hand back into his deck, which is an odd way of doing this. I am fine with switching this around so I take a little less damage. There is no need for the enhanced hammers. They're just in my hand, bothering me. I got a Fighting Fury Belt, which is good. I got Team Flare Grunt for the following turn. I'm gonna try and survive this turn. I don't know if I'm going to, though. You know, he's only got 3 cards in hand, but that doesn't mean much when Typhlosion just sets up so fast. He's got 2 energy drops down. Does go for that massive eruption. And even with the decrease, he still is going to take me out 1 turn. This is bad. This is bad. I need to slow you down a turn. But he could easily still have fire energy in his deck, or in his hand, and he'll be able to retreat out. He just evolves into Typhlosion, just like, no, I'm good. And he will be able to take this game here. Oh man. Oh man, cannot stall the Typhlosion. Could not stall the Typhlosion. I did not get anything really that would lead me into the certain cards that I needed. Like, don't get me wrong, I had Skyla in the discard pile, and I could have easily gone for Crushing Hammers. But with the amount of energy in that deck, it's really hard to warrant a play like that. And I never did manage to draw like a Team Rocket's Handiwork or anything like that. My opponent was getting a ton of amazing cards in terms of Energy Recycler, being able to put all those energies back in after a quick discard, and I was able to save him a ton of turns here, because if he didn't Energy Recycler twice of those, I could have easily gone from maybe a Skyline to Team Rocket's Handiwork, and probably would have been able to dwindle him down. But that's Typhlosion for you. It is still strong even to today. So let's see if I can actually counter something in the next turn. Alright, match number 2 is against Almost Flawless. Almost Flawless is... I get to coin toss. We get it. We are going to win it. So I'm not going to go first. And I'm going to say hello back. Our opponent actually doesn't get a basic Pokemon. This is actually great for me. So we will get an additional card. Once this is all said and done, he's playing Greninja. I don't know if I am a counter to Greninja, but we will soon see. Obviously, if it doesn't get a chance to play much, that will be a big problem for him. Yes, let's draw a Pokemon. Oh, we got a Lysander. We see the Splash Energy, and we see another Froakie. And we see Rough Seas with an N. So this hand doesn't mean anything to me. That's kind of bad. That is kind of bad. Kind of wish I took the first turn. I got a third Wobb. No, sorry, second Wobb. I get a Crushing Hammer. I got some options. I have a Lysander, which is what I'm actually going to... Hold on. Let's not get carried away here. Can I get rid of this energy? No. Okay, so Lysander it is. We're going to go with the Fighting Fury Belt. I'll say you have a good deck as well, to be courteous. And I am going to get rid of your Stadium. Let's do that. Okay, so I have got not much left. But he can end, right? There's a possibility. He goes into that Frogadier. He has another energy. Does Sycamore though, which is fine for me. I did not have the Talonflame or anything like that. We are going to see this Water Duplicates go off. And we're going to see if he's got a lot. Two. Just 2. Okay, so 1 is prized. But that's not going to help me any. That's really not going to help me any. I didn't get anything that really could support me, and I'm in a really bad rut. My opponent can easily just start going for Greninjas, and the problem here is that my ability shuts off if he attacks me. These all have free retreat, don't they? One. Oh, I can at least go into you. And here we go. Heal up. And pass this turn. Greninja Break is really the only break you now see in Standard. All the other ones did not see too much play. Now, I do know that he has a water energy in the active spot, so he can sacrifice if he wants to. But he decides to just stay in. Enhanced Hammer is going to get rid of this one. Beauty. And we'll pass. Now my abilities are back in line, so he cannot Water Shuriken, which is fine. He is stuck in here. This is exactly what we want. We're going to go for another Splash Energy, get rid of that one, and pass again. Now we can at least Lysander into the Froakie if necessary. Because I'm not worried about being paralyzed. Not the slightest. We're going to see a Dive Ball. He's going to get another Greninja here. And he's going to make sure this Shadow Stitching stays in play this time. Alright, so we see it. Does he have the water energy? I'm pretty sure he does. It's a Greninja deck. They have tons of water. They don't have the water! We're going to switch into your Froakie. I'm going to make this thing stall out. I'm going to do the best I can anyway. We do have 2 Fighting Fury belts on us, so we do have the ability to take a couple hits. I think 2. Water energy drop. He's actually just going to go for a bubble instead of retreating. I don't care about that at all. We are going to go for a Skyla, and I do need an N. I need to get a hand. Getting 1 tool card right now is great and all, but I really don't think I'm going to need that. I think I want to go for an N here, and in case something bad does happen, I have the ability to draw some cards next turn. That is my better play. Better opportunity, better everything. My Wobbuffet is now not paralyzed. He can evolve this thing, but he should retreat it. He does have 2 breaks on the field now. That's scary. He does end for me! So he had an end in his hand the entire time. Made me waste my Skyla, but it is in the discard pile, so I'm okay with that. We are going to get our 3rd Wobb. And then I get the Bridget. We are just going to Crushing Hammer. And we're going to succeed. I want to get rid of this water. And we are going to end. We got a victory on the stall! Yes, sir! Alright, guys. That is Wobbuffet. Now, huge things about Wobbuffet is there are actually some weaknesses to this deck in comparison to Sylveon. Sylveon, in my opinion, is still better. The only downside to it is it will take 2 prizes if it gets knocked out. Wobbuffet, on the other hand, does not have that fresh resources every turn. Maybe if I played maybe N and Alima to try and get more resources, maybe that would have been a better opportunity for me. But in other words, there was a ton of opportunity here. It's just sometimes you draw into the wrong supporter at the wrong time instead. And you are heavily weak to a popular deck right now, being Espeon Garbodor. So if you are playing anything Psychic, you're in for a lot of trouble, because you will have a hard time combating. But with that being said, it is a very fun and budget-friendly deck. If you guys can't afford the Sylveons, the Wobbuffets are only $1. Depending on where you go. Like, you could get them for less than that. So if you want to build a fun, stally deck that you have all these kind of supporters for that are just hanging around, give it a shot. Let me know your results with Quad Wobb, and I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. But that is going to be it for today's episode. If you guys are brand new here, please hit the subscribe button, because it does mean the world to me. You guys come out and watch the videos on the regular. But that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. But until then, time out.